Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of Black Pearl, as Captain Jack Sparrow and Will Turner go on a swashbuckling adventure to save Elizabeth Swann from Captain Hector Barbossa. I've only watched this, for the first time back in this last August or something, so I'm pretty new to this franchise. So the positives are, it tells a very interesting story. I'm very interested and invested in how it unfolds. I like how you get a flashback in the beginning of how Elizabeth Swann and Will Turner met, and it sets up the rest of the story so well. All you see is a boat sailing away from whatever wreckage Will Turner was rescued from. Then you have them as adults. Elizabeth falls into the water with the shilling sending out like a pulse. It's actually a pretty complex story with certain things needing to happen to progress it. It might actually be the most complex story in the franchise. Everyone has different goals, and they're all intersecting by the end of the film. Elizabeth is captured. Will wants to save her. Jack wants to kill Barbossa. Barbossa wants to lift his curse. And even other history in the past is very convoluted, but easy enough to follow. Like, Barbossa left Jack on an island, so Jack escaped, and he wants revenge, so he saved his one shot for his gun to kill Barbossa. James Norrington is trying to save Elizabeth and capture Captain Jack Sparrow, so it's all very interesting. The characters are really good. Elizabeth, very smart, capable. She does everything she can to survive. Will is determined to save Elizabeth, and he can sword fight. James Norrington is like a secondary antagonist, just getting in the way of things. Captain Jack Sparrow brings the comedy, with Johnny Depp giving charisma to the character. He's hilarious, but he also has a goal and not just comedic relief. He can get out of just about any situation, so he's good. Captain Hector Barbossa is a very compelling villain. I think he's the best villain of the franchise. He has a clear goal. He'll do anything to get rid of his curse. He can actually be kind of scary at some points. And his retelling of the ghost story and the reveal of the cursed crew is one of the best moments in the franchise. It's very creepy as he tells the story. You get their motives, and when they reveal that they're undead, that is, I think, the scariest moment in the entire franchise. And I actually really like the line where he says, "You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one." That is kind of cool and kind of creepy. And also when they're dead in the... Well, I mean, they're always dead to a degree. But when they're in the moonlight, the CGI for the ghost crew is actually pretty good looking. This movie also strikes a very good balance between really funny comedy and comedic lines and pretty solid action. It even has comedic lines during action scenes. You can enjoy the thrilling action, but then you'll be laughing at lines like, "You need to get yourself a girl, mate." Or, I don't remember what scene it was, but someone was about to hit, I think, Elizabeth, and Jack says, "That's not very nice," or something. When they have to use cannons to attack, or they don't have any cannonballs, they have to use fork. One of the forks goes into one of the pirates' eye during the battle. That's kind of funny in an otherwise action-centric scene. So it strikes a really good balance with that. It also kind of has something to say of blurring lines between hero and villain, at least with Jack. Jack steals and escapes the police, or whatever you call them, but he's willing to give up, and he's willing to give up Will Turner, but he saves Elizabeth in the beginning of the film. And they also have a cool line of, he says, not all treasure is silver and gold. That's interesting. The final sword fight is the best scene in the film. It's a great sword fight. Jack is a skeleton fighting Barbossa. All the characters get intersected and get locked in to one epic battle. It's got thrilling action as well as funny gags and lines, like the guy losing his eye, or or Jack says like, or he could just give up. So that's really funny. I also love Captain Barbossa's last line. He gets shot, the curse is lifted, and he says, with a smile with the first half, but kind of a frown in the second half, I feel cold. Like he can finally feel again, but now he's only going to be feeling death. That's interesting. So I really like that. And it ends really well. And yeah, I really like that final battle of the film. That's it for positives. On to the negatives. Not really much negative I can say about it. I guess it feels a little long after an hour and a half, kind of losing the momentum to a degree for about 10 minutes. Like after, I think Jack gets marooned on the island again with Elizabeth Swann, I think that kind of slows it down a bit. That's about the only thing I can think of that I dislike. So, in the end, again, not really much negative I can say about it. Although this isn't one of my favorite films of all time, this is really good, and I really like to watch it from time to time. So, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, I think is actually a really good movie. Thanks for watching.